What I gotta do is I want to get what you can maybe six. Hi, I wanted to get testify today. Me as I didn't grow up in church. I didn't know the Lord. My mother never took us to church. My the first time I ever went to church was my grandmother, and I was about 7 or 8 years old. Um, like I said, I didn't live in a house where I didn't know anything about the Lord. At the age of 7, I was molested by my uncle and his wife. I endured that torture until I think it was a couple of days after my grandmother passed away. And I confessed to my mother what he had been doing to me all those years. Um, After confessing it to my mother, I didn't know she had did anything about it. It was, back then you didn't talk about anything. I never knew it. But that left me with an emptiness inside, feeling like I wasn't worthy. What did I do to deserve this? Um, and I had no self-esteem. Later on in life, I masked that pain with drugs and alcohol. I tried to conduct life on a normalcy with drugs, and it didn't work. And I always knew there was a Lord, but I didn't know how to have a relationship with Him. And I remember giving myself something that's told me. I knew it was a God, but I didn't know how to get his to pray. A friend of mine brought me to church one day, and I gave my life to the Lord, but I still wasn't faithful. I still didn't trust in Him. I got baptized a couple years later on Halloween, and I started attending church. And I was in church one day, and the bishop said, "You know what? It's a shame that people go to attend church for years and never grow." And that was a wake-up call for me. I was just attending church and doing what I thought was right, but I never sought a true relationship with the Lord. But that day forward, I told myself I wanted to have a true relationship. I wanted to be closer with God. I wanted to receive His blessings. So I did it for a minute, but then the drugs took my life over again, and I was just there. I let drugs rule my household. I let it tear up my relationship with my children. And then one day I was sitting there and I looked at my child and I realized, you know what? I don't want this. I don't want to hurt my children. I want God to bless us and to be a witness for Him and to see God through my children to see God through me. So I got on my knees. I asked Lord to forgive me of all my sins, and if He would, then I would live for Him for the rest of my life. From that day forward, I turned my life around. I sought God. I believed in His Word. I studied His Word. But the devil tries to come in and tell us that we're not going to be nothing. God don't hear us. But he's a lie. He's a lie. God does hear our prayers. And if we submit to Him fully, He will direct our path. After that, I always wanted to be a truck driver. I said when my youngest child graduated that I would go into trucking. So I did. And a year on, we were coming back. We had a dedicated route from Atlanta to California. I just finished doing my shift. I laid back in the cab, and I went to sleep. And I think maybe an hour into the drive, I felt the truck turning, and all I could do, I just cried out to God. I said, "Lord, please don't let us be in the mountains, please." God saved me. We weren't in the mountains, and if you saw the truck, it was a miracle that I came out alive. I ended up with cracked ribs, a bruised lung. I had 3 surgeries, but God saved me. He heard my prayer, and when He saved me from that, I said, I will never leave His side. I will always seek Him and trust His Word. And when I did that, God has blessed me. I just want you guys to know that no matter what the devil tries to tell you, God loves us and He hears us. And if we remain faithful and trust His word, He will make a way. Thank you.